Spartanburg for North Carolina State University Turf Bucks and Rock and Roll. And this time of year, there's something a lot of people watch on television. It's called the NBA Finals. And one of the things they say in almost every sporting event around the world is that when you get into tournament time or you get into the finals or whatever kind of end of the season qualifications that you have, they always say that you can throw out the season records because once you get into the tournament, everybody starts on even ground. Well, the reality is all of us know that that's not true, that 90% of the time the team with the best record during the season ends up winning anyway. So the thing I want to point out when we think about pest management in turf is that what happens during the season really does matter. And an example that I'll give you, and this is true for weeds, diseases, insects, any of those things. An example I can give you that last year in much of the Midwestern U.S. we had a serious drought. In the southeastern U.S. we had plenty of rainfall. We had above normal rainfall during the summer. And I've talked about over and over again how rainfall and soil moisture is so important for soil insects. Well, this spring, guess what area of the U.S. was not seeing any white grubs as people were doing landscaping renovations, that sort of thing? Obviously in the Midwest. And here in the Southeast where I live, we were getting lots of complaints about grubs. So it was all a reflection of what happened that season, and as we've moved through, there's a carryover effect, and this is going to be true. So the question as we move forward, well, does that mean since there aren't many grubs that are going to turn into beetles in the Midwest, there can't be grub problems? Well, it probably reduces the likelihood, but if we have very favorable conditions with good soil moisture, grub problems can still happen in the Midwest. And what's going to happen in the Southeast? We've got a lot of grubs going to turn into a lot of beetles. Does that guarantee we're going to have a grub problem? Not if our summer's hot and dry. So this whole trend continues from season all the way through from season. So what happened last year does impact what happens this year. And it all comes down to, when we talk about pest problems, it all comes down to what the weather conditions are. In closing, I just want to mention one thing, and that is a lot of people giving me feedback and they said, Rick, on these videos, why don't you do magic tricks? So I've thought about it, and I think that's a possibility. I think using magic tricks would be a really good thing. So I want you to continue to watch, because in the coming videos, we may try some things that will surprise you and perhaps even amaze you. So I look forward to seeing you again next time on Turf Bugs and Rock and Roll.